Paramahamsa Nityananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities today. Paramahamsa Nityananda has been placed alongside Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, Paulo Coelho and others by Mind, Body, Spirit, the world's top esoteric magazine from Watkins, London's oldest and largest bookstore. A yogi by birth, he has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English. Translations of these books are available in 26 languages in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 10,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services with ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world, offering exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being, benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nityananda Dhyanapeetham, a spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places in India like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Tiruvannamalai. A spiritual guru for 10 million followers, an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation, a contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers, an adept in Ashtamahasiddhis, mystical yogic powers, who has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands and graced them with spiritual powers, a dynamic young guru who is an inspiration for thousands of youngsters, India's most watched spiritual guru online, a beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nityananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment. He is the 293rd pontiff of the world's most ancient Hindu organization, Madurai Adinam.
Nityanandaya Swagatam Anandanubhavaswadam Sarvaroga Nivarakam Vande Papa Vinashaktam Nityanandaya Swagatam Nityamuktam Nirvikalpam Dhyanaloka Pradipakam Vande Shantamayam Bandham Nityanandaya Swagatam Ananda Gandha Sancharam Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam.
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् ज्ञानसम्बन्धाचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Let me define the word initiation. Day before yesterday, I was using a word, psychological revolution. Yesterday I introduced a word, Shastra Shastra. Understand? Knowledge weapon. Whenever you need to heal yourself, you need inner healing. You need to bring yourself again to the life energy. Many times you can see a simple disturbance from the outside or from the memory inside. Either from experience or from memory can drain your energy. Or even taking too many decisions drains your energy. Anytime you can see in your life, morning if you go and sit in your office, you don't have to do any work. Just take some 5-6 major decisions. You are already tired. You say, I am done. That's all. Either the incidents from outside or memory from inside or just simple decision makings makes you tired, dead. The truths, ideas, words which brings you out of the tiredness, which brings you out of that low mood, which brings you out of that depression, gives you the energy, confidence, life. Those truths only I call as Shastra Shastras, knowledge weapons. Truths which brings you out of depression, low mood, and adds self-healing energy and confidence, life into you is called Shastra Shastras. The truths which not only brings you out of the depression, destroys the source of depression once for all, is called mantra. Understand? The mantra word has two meanings. Mantrayate idi mantraha. The words which shows path for human beings is mantra. The truths not only brings you out of depression, once for all breaks the source of depression in you, is called mantra. Any mantra, if it comes from the enlightened, experienced inner space, you do not know why, how, what. Suddenly you see it is true. It clicks. Even though one part of your logic continues to fight, because if you accept the truth and start expressing in your life, many of the things, your vested interests, many things which you thought as life is at stake. That part may continue to fight, but the main, your being, your core will have that click. I know what he is talking is truth. Maybe too strong for me. Maybe if I start living it, too many things are at stake. These all can be a confusion or disturbance, doubt in the corner of your mind, corner of your heart, corner of your being, but the very core feels connected. If that happens to you, it is called initiation. Truth, when it comes out of an enlightened inner space and clicks, that's the right word I have to use. It won't be any. If you analyze, how could he convince me about such great thing and such a wonderful thing? You yourself will feel, how did I get convinced? You don't know, but suddenly your heart feels connected to the words which he is uttering. the truth which he is expressing. That connection, that click is what I call initiation. There is every possibility. Just be available, receptive, and ready to let this Satya, truth work on you. Suddenly you will see that click, that initiation happens in you. Completely be relaxed, and the words which comes out of the enlightened inner space, just play with the understanding. Oh, yes, what he says sounds great. Only these two things. Just do not change the channel. Second, just be relaxed. Go with the whole flow. Go with the whole expression. Suddenly you will see somewhere it clicks. Somewhere it just clicks. That click is what I call initiation. Initiation does not mean chanting some special mantra in your ears or doing something special. It straight away means making you experience a solid truth, giving you a clear inner space and confidence to live the truth. In Vedantic tradition, we have 3 words, beautiful words: Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Shravana means intense listening. Manana means internalizing, contemplating. Nididhyasana means living. Initiation means the great truths. Mantrayate, the words which leads you to the truth. The clear path which leads you to the truth. If it is experientially transmitted, at least one glimpse, then initiation has happened. Then you are initiated. Many doubt, when I use the word initiation, there will be so many doubt. I am already initiated by some guru. Can I have initiation? If I get initiated, can I go to some other gurus and learn something? Everything is perfectly alright, nothing wrong. I always tell people, go to all gardens and pluck flowers and make a beautiful garland for you. It's not like shop, if you go there, don't come here, if you come here, don't go there, nothing like that. Our ego is such, if it is beaten by 10, 12 gurus, only then it will die. It won't die just by something which you learn from one person. So nothing wrong. Learn all best things from all sources and enrich your life. It is no way connected to any of the old and understanding you have about initiation. Initiation is just transmitting the authentic experiential clarity which happened into your inner space. Many times when I start the initiation, I have seen people sitting, what does it mean by initiation? How is this going to help? How is this going to change? After all, few more words. That's the usual mentality. And especially when I give such a big introduction about initiation, people think, oh, he's wasting too much time on introduction. Why not enter into meditation, enter into initiation? The big problem is, whether you believe it or not, it takes at least half an hour for you to listen to start listening to somebody. First half an hour, you will be preparing your replies. Usually conversation never starts till half an hour. Till half an hour, the listening never starts. It is just monologue will be happening. Just somebody talking, and you will not, Either you will not be listening. If you are listening, you will be just preparing your answers. That's the reason I'm just preparing the mind. Unconsciously also you will be ready to receive these great truths, to receive the initiation, to receive that click. That click, which word is responsible, which moment the click happened, you will not know. But suddenly, once the expression of truth is over, you will see, you feel it. Yes, it is true. I am seeing it. It is true. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. Initiation is your birthright. Diksha, moksha. Initiation liberates. Just simple initiation. When this great truth is being delivered, just completely opening yourself and feeling connected, listening, allowing these words to work on you. This technique should be used, should be done whenever you sit with an enlightened being, enlightened master. This can't even be called as technique, it is a process. It just clicks suddenly for no reason. You know he is talking the truth, which you always wanted to listen. Diksha, moksha. Listen while the ultimate mystical teaching is imparted. I still, without blinking, at once become absolutely free, be enlightened. Till you think that you have something to do with your life, it's worthy of you working on it, you doing something, then continue. If you feel you have done everything, whatever you feel as worthy in your life, you have done it. Now it is time to allow the higher power, the supreme energy to work, then open up. Still, if you are working, I can't work. If you are tired, relax, I'll work.
A look, a word, a touch. Power of initiation. Diksha is the direct transfer of spiritual energy by an enlightened being through look, word or touch. The traditional Vedic book Navaratneshwara states, Sarvasamapi dikshanam muktihi phalamakhanditam avirodhat bhavantyeva prasangyastu bhuktayah. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment. As a side effect, health, wealth, leadership and well-being happen. And in Rudrayamala Tantra, Shiva says, Devi diksha vihinasya na siddhihi na cha sadgatihi tasmat sarva prayatnena guruna dikshito bhavet. The one who is not initiated does not attain liberation nor a better future. So by all efforts, one should get initiated by Guru. What is the science of initiation? Neuroscience has proved that the process of initiation floods the brain with energy. This is the superconscious energy of Kundalini, our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus to the cortex, it sets up a powerful energy loop within the brain, which awakens the latent non-mechanical parts which we have never used before. With increasing levels of coherence, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness, visualization, creativity. It also slows the aging process and improves the immune system. Kundalini awakening, healing experience, levitation, teleportation, materialization. Experience the power of initiation through a range of exclusive programs conducted at the ashram. Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Nityananda Nagar, Birdi, Bengaluru. Contact 97422 03311 82774 90091. Visit www.nityananda.org.
Genetic science behind initiation, Diksha. First, I'll share some of the Shastra Pramanas, the eternal truths revealed to and by the ancient and modern rishis. Rishi means mantra drashta, who sees mantra. Mantra means the way for liberation, way for higher consciousness, way for higher experiences. Manah trayate iti mantraha. The words are the paths, truths which shows way to man or to mind is mantra. So whoever experiences mantra is the rishi. Today I'll give you some of the revelations from the modern day rishis, the scientific discoveries, Shastra Pramanas. Then I'll add some of the discoveries from the ancient rishis. Shastra Pramana, again ancient Shastra Pramana. Then I'll add Atma Pramana, my own experience, so that it can become your own experience for you, Apta Pramana. Russian scientists, Graisna Fozer and Franz Bludorf, you should see their website, really amazing. They have done a lot of research and articles and very powerful discoveries. I am exactly quoting from their research. The human DNA is a biological internet with evidence that DNA can be influenced and reprogrammed by words and frequencies. Understand? The words and frequencies can directly program your DNA. It is biological internet. They call it as biological internet. These Russian scientists reveal that genetic code of 90% of the junk DNA or dormant DNA, which I was revealing that day, as the Jivatman, self in all of you. The part which these people call as a junk DNA or dormant DNA, but I call as Jivatman DNA, self DNA. 90% of the Jivatman DNA follows the rules of human languages. Understand, it's very powerful. I am revealing step by step, then I will connect it. How it can be applied in our life. The third important revelation. Greisner Foser and Franz Bludorf compared the rules of syntax, the way in which words are put together to form phrases and sentences, and semantics, study of meaning in language and grammar, and found out that alkalines of our DNA follow a regular grammar and set rules like our language. Always Raghupathi used to tell me, he will teach different yoga for different parts of the body. See, for hands he will give some yoga. For eyes he will give some yoga. For tongue he will give some yoga. For nose he will give some yoga. And the most difficult part to work out is the cheek. Even for that he has some yoga. He will give some yoga. When I ask him, what is the yoga for brain? He will categorically tell, chant Sanskrit. The Sanskrit language, learn Sanskrit language, chant Sanskrit mantras. You should be surprised. How can brain have yoga by Sanskrit? He will insist that I chant that Surya Namaskar mantras during the postures. He will insist that mantra chanting is done. He used to ask, how can mantra have yoga for brain? But now I know. It's true. I can tell you from my experience, whatever is said and done, a person who speaks a decent cultured language naturally behaves, lives, thinks decently and culturally. From my experience, I can tell you, the language, the standard of language a person speaks directly affects the way in which he thinks, the way in which he acts. It really affects. There may be exemptions, very few. Like a person speaking very cultural language and behaving indecently. Very rare exemption. But as a nature, it doesn't happen. As a rule, it's a rule. Exemptions does not break the rule. It only enforces the possibility of existence of the rule. The language they speak, the cultured, clear, syntax, semantics, grammar they use directly affects the alkalines of our DNA. That is why the neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, really does a big transformation. I can tell you. See, NLP is not all. It does not lead to enlightenment, but it surely awakens much more than what you are now. The neuro-linguistic programming surely makes you more alive than what you are now. The next important discovery, truth. Scientist Garge J says, our DNA can be reprogrammed by speech when words are modulated on correct carrier and frequencies, again and again and again. The Upanishads are chanted for so many different purposes. Not only your DNA can be altered, I tell you, the Upanishads came from such a high frequency. If a group of people whose DNAs are already altered by this chanting, if they chant, the cosmic DNA can be altered. That is why the chanting and Homa brings rain. It brings whatever we need, the natural positive effects. If people whose DNAs are altered, reprogrammed by the sounds and mantras and frequencies, if they sit together and create those frequencies and sounds, the cosmos DNA can be reprogrammed. So a space, bit of cosmos, which is reprogrammed by the reprogrammed system of the body of the master, is energy field. Bit of the cosmos, which is reprogrammed by the reprogrammed body of the master, is energy field. That is why just very living in that field reprograms many of our DNA. Next truth. Since the basic structure of DNA and language is of same structure, one can simply use words and sentences of human language of proper frequencies. This proves DNA reacts to spoken words with proper frequencies. It directly, this is my own conclusion. Because of these researchers, these researchers directly or indirectly explains and proves how affirmations, hypnosis, words from spiritual masters affect your body and mind directly. This is the power of initiation, the process. Many of you people would have seen the video of people levitating during LEP. If you have attended LEP, you would have seen. I did not do anything. All I did is let your samana be balanced. Let the air energy inside you be balanced. Let whatever happens inside your body happen. That's all. Affirmation, Satya Sankalpa. Nothing else. Satya Sankalpa, over. Immediately, the whole thing fell in place. People started levitating, the raising. Understand? Ordinary Sankalpa is gravitation, Satya Sankalpa is levitation. Sankalpa, ordinary Sankalpa, means will, words, thoughts created, pulls you down, makes you more heavy. Satya Sankalpa makes you levitate. That is why, whatever is said and done, when you listen to the great truths directly from Master, it just gets recorded into your DNA, becomes part of your DNA. This is the science why millions come to listen to the Masters, and how the Master's words directly gives experience to people. That's what I call transmission of lamp. Initiation. From a lit fire, only you can light the lamp. Transmission of lamp only can happen. Same way, How much ever you sit and talk in ordinary way? No. Only the reprogrammed DNA can transmit that frequency and right words and reprogram your DNA. That process only I call initiation. If you sit and listen to the truth from an ordinary man who has intellectually memorized it, it is called learning, teaching and learning. If you sit and listen to a man who himself is practicing those truths, he is called Acharya, you are called Sishya. If you sit and listen to those truths, who has experienced it, he is called Guru, you are a Sishya. If you are listening to those truths from a being whose very DNA is programmed, it is called initiation. He is an incarnation, you are a devotee, it is called initiation. This is what exactly I am doing in Inner Awakening. Every session of Inner Awakening is an initiation. Awakening of one DNA. Every session of Inner Awakening. First working on life, means different energy centers. Then working on death, the different energy layers. Then working on koshas, sheets, different energy sheets, energy fields. Then working on the very core of energy. So every session is an initiation into the next step. Your DNA gets reprogrammed for enlightenment. In my life, there is an experience with a group of Tibetan monks. They made me sit inside the bell. Some 10 monks sit around the bell and rub the bell and go on chanting. I never realized the sound can create pain in your hair holes, in your pore. The bell has small holes through which I can breathe, but all the 10 sides they are sitting and rubbing the bell with a small wooden piece. That vibration created, the sound, within 5 minutes your ear stops listening to that sound. You can't hear it anymore. But every hair pore feels the pain as if a needle is being inserted. And after half an hour, the pain also disappears. It becomes like a pleasure. Very strong, deep pleasure. Then they chant the words like, you are deathless, you are painless, you have no hunger, you have no thirst, you have no old age. They chant like this. I now translated in negative way. They don't say you have no old age, they say you are ever young. They say you are always fulfilled. You are immortal. They declare in positive terms. Now I can realize completely the frequencies and language can reprogram your DNA. The DNA reprogramming. The power of DNA is reprogramming. So your DNA can be reprogrammed by the right words, right chantings, right initiation from the incarnation whose DNA is completely reprogrammed. That is why the words heard from the Master spreads inside you like a fire and makes you experience. The languages happened in different places. How come they all have lot of similar pronunciation and so much of grammar? Almost same, symmetrical grammar. Now I know from this research, scientist Gurdjieff says, human language did not appear coincidentally, but it is a reflection of our DNA. That is why Kashmir to Kanyakumari, when there was no communication like a telephone, television, telegraph, anything, Sahana Bhavatu is chanted in same frequency. Go to Kashmir Shaivites temples, or Bhavani Mandir, or Vaishnava Devi, and go to Kanyakumari, Kamidevi Bhagavati Mandir. You will see Sahana Bhavatu and Purnamatam being chanted in same tone, same frequency. So the language is not just coincident. It is a reflection of our DNA. So, through this I want you to understand three important truths. One, be aware of the words you use. Second, listen to the great words only from the person who has experienced. Third thing, whenever you listen to the great words on higher frequencies from the person who has experienced, whose DNA is reprogrammed, it becomes your experience. That is what is initiation.
Pratyaksha Pada Puja. Offer your gratitude to the lotus feet of Paramahamsa Nityananda. Pratyaksha Pada Puja is a rare opportunity in a lifetime to express your surrender and gratitude directly at the feet of the Master, daily at 7 a.m. IST. You can register for e-Pada Puja online. You can receive individual darshan and blessings after the puja. You can send your blessings request to ntv@nityananda.org or call 91-974-22-03311. Make the best use of this rare opportunity to be in the space of the living enlightened Master.
Beautiful incident from Ramakrishna's life. One guy who is addicted to alcohol, extremely addicted, can't live without it. His body will start shivering if he doesn't drink. This guy goes and begs Bhagavan, please somehow liberate me. I am a sinner caught in this drinking, unable to escape. Ramakrishna says, all right, from tomorrow, before drinking, take the bottle, pour little in your hand and offer it to Mother Kali, do the offering, then drink the bottle. This fellow got a little confused. And he says, what do you mean? You mean to say I'll stop drinking, I'll not be able to drink just by this act? That's all is the solution. Something great then. You are the best master for me. That fellow one side can't believe it can help. The other side he thought such a simple solution. Great, come on. Let us enjoy then. But after 2 days, that guy comes and falls at the feet of Ramakrishna and cries, Bhagavan, I am not able to drink. I don't know what you have done. One of the main things human beings do not know is power of initiation. When a master puts certain words into you, When those words start working in you, you do not know what all is going to happen in you. I can say the one-liner for initiation is expect the unexpected. Expect the most unexpected is the one-line introduction for initiation. Somebody goes to Sharada Devi. That guy is a womanizer. Womanizer, very dirty guy. Not only mentally, even physically, perverted guy. Sharada Devi was a very beautiful lady. If you see her first photograph, it is taken at the age of 40s, after Ramakrishna passed away, left the body. But you won't feel she is 40. You will see very clearly, because in that extraordinary sensitivity and grace, she just puts her head down in shyness, in shy feeling. She looked less than 25. We look just like Rajeshwari Devi. The moment this fellow enters her room, Sharada Devi feels uncomfortable and just covers herself. Then this fellow understood that his eyes are not proper, the way he looks is not proper, that's why mother is covering herself. He just falls at the feet and asks, Ma, free me from these lustful eyes and my womanizing habit. Sharada Devi had a betel leaf next to her. She takes one leaf and puts it at her feet. The right thumb, she puts that leaf and just takes that leaf and gives it to him and says, eat this. The reminiscence says that guy writes the reminiscence after 22 years of this incident. He says, I forgot whether I am a male or female from that betel leaf. Over. He writes, after 22 years, now when I am writing the incident only, I even remember 22 long years passed without having women in my life. He says 2 nights is the maximum gap. But now 22 years, just one betel leaf. Understand the power of initiation. Whenever you receive certain words, don't come to conclusion without living these words, practicing these words. If that guy thought, ordinary betel leaf, that also she put her feet on it, dirty betel leaf, how can that clean the dirt in my mind? Then you can be sitting for your whole life and at least this is a betel leaf. Ramakrishna's solution, just a word, pour it in your hand, offer it to Kali and again pour it and pour inside, over. Oh Ma Kali, oh Ma Kali, oh Ma Kali, and drink, over. What is this? What kind of solution? But power of initiation. When the highest existence lands to the lowest action is purified. Hatha Yoga Pratipika, I was reading a certain process which works on breathing and directly expands your muscles. So I was just very playfully playing with that technique, just scanning it as it is described, as it is prescribed in the sutra. I just tried to play with my breathing. I could see immediately changes in my chakras, the vibrational changes, and immediately the muscles have started bulging, expanding. I was really surprised that Hatha Yoga is so powerful. Maybe the whole thing happened within 2.5 seconds. And within 2-3 minutes, I could see physically the muscles change in muscles. Understand? So simple breathing can create particular vibration in your chakras, and that can create certain changes in muscles. Then I started working a little deeply. So when a person lifts 10 kg weight in the hand, when he works out 10 times, what all the changes happen in muscles, what all the changes in breathing, what all the changes in different chakras, I was able to clearly observe. Then I decided to reverse the process, create that vibrations in the chakra without lifting the weight. I could see very clearly that same vibrations, when they are created in the chakra, the same breathing change happens and the same muscles are getting built. So now we know the formula to shape your body without working out. You know the secret of lazy man's technique to build body, to build mass, to build muscles. I was really surprised. Then when I started working deeply on it, developing a kind of a formula, because see, when a person starts working out, lifting weight, the first thing happens is certain unit of Mooladhara gets awakened, the desire to build a body. Anything physical is sexual. Please understand. Anything physical starts from sex, because body is built on sex. So second step, I saw the Ori, Manipura gets activated. And the third, the Anahata, vibration are happening. Then fourth, immediately the thing happens is the fear. The muscles start getting the fear of losing its shape, or the old muscles. See, when you build muscles, the old muscles get the fear that they will lose their shape. Their individual identity is losing. It's relaxing. It's disappearing. Then comes jealous. No, I should be like that body. That jealous acts as a life pattern, making the old muscles to inspire to become new muscles, so that death is tolerated. The death is accepted because the new muscles are inspired by the jealous, by the comparison. So I could see very clearly the pattern. Then I thought, can this pattern be transmitted? I discovered two methods. One, making a disciple to sit and creating certain vibrations, certain mantras to create the same chakra vibrations in that person. That's one process. Second, just by the touch, telling the disciple to be in a restful awareness, and just by the touch, the formula, I am able to transmit that formula. So just by the touch, if the formula is transmitted, that is called initiation. Please understand, when a disciple sits in an unclutched way or in a receptive mood, any experience transmitted from one biomemory to another biomemory without any effort from the disciple's side, it is called initiation. If the same thing is transmitted with little effort from disciple and little effort from the master, it is called process. The same thing is transmitted, more effort from the disciple and less effort from the master, it is called meditation technique. If the whole thing is transmitted only by the disciple's efficiency and the disciple's work, master gives only instruction, it is called teaching. Teaching, technique, process, initiation. So there are different levels master works with disciples. In initiation, there are so many things. One, awakening the non-mechanical parts of your brain. See, when you come with a certain understanding, when you land on certain understanding, suddenly some parts of your brain which was not available to you, which was not working, will be awakened. I tell you, simple intellectual understanding that you are the cosmos, not experience, simple intellectual understanding. You are the cosmos awakens immediately certain parts of non-mechanical brain in you. Certain parts of your brain which is non-mechanical is awakened immediately just by the simple intellectual understanding. Nothing more. You'll be really surprised. Now I am actually working to do scientific researches. How a simple understanding can awaken the non-mechanical parts of the brain. Then meditation, then process, then initiation. There are so many levels. Even simple intellectual understanding, if it is transmitted, it awakens certain parts of non-mechanical parts of your brain. And ecstasy, the devotion, the love, you don't need to do anything. Just if you see the love and the devotion, ecstasy in the master's eyes, it will just be caught by your heart. That is why around the world people crave so much for this emotional expression visually being presented. Why do you think so much of craving for this reality shows, this cinema, this TV? Why do you think? When you see a kind of an emotional experience in the eyes of people, your emotion just picks it up. It just starts enjoying. So when you see something in the master's eyes, it is the highest pure expression. Simply your heart catches it. Some people are asking, Swamiji, why did you make a gold-coated throne for pujari, for a priest in your temple? I tell them, the love and devotion with which priest looks at the deity will be caught automatically, spontaneously by a devotee. So the job of the priest is not physical job, it is a conscious decision. He is respected because he takes the conscious decision of radiating love and devotion, respect to the deity as God continuously. So when he looks at the deity, the very eyes should radiate love. The very being should radiate devotion, so that the devotees who are onlookers, who are first timers, who are new, catches that love, catches the devotion, catches that ecstasy. This is what I call initiation into bhakti. Transmitting knowledge, ideas, and awakening the non-mechanical parts of your brain is initiation into Shravana, into the truths. Transmitting the joy and ecstasy from the eyes into an onlooker, an ordinary devotee, is initiation into bhakti. Same way, transmitting the strong formulas through vibration or through the presence into the disciple and making him experience that deep restful awareness is dhyana, initiation into meditation or process. And initiating a disciple just by transmitting the biomemory and putting the disciple into that experience is Jivan Mukti Diksha. That's the word I can use. Jivan Mukti Diksha. So there are various levels of initiation, various ways of initiation. I can tell you one thing. If you just be passive, even an ordinary bamboo, an ordinary hill, an ordinary river can become guru. They can initiate you. I myself first was initiated by Arunachala hill. Of course, I can't say that hill is an ordinary hill. If you have received initiation, then it becomes guru. You can never conceive it as an ordinary hill. Maybe for a normal man, it's an ordinary hill. I tell you, when you are passive, Ganga can initiate you. I have known hundreds of sadhus who have been initiated directly by Ganga Mata, the river Ganges. I myself had initiation from Arunachala hill. I had a deep process with Ganga Mata. I used to sit with her, sunrise to sunset, just watching things floating on her. Maybe in 10-15 days, I realized whatever change happening in my inner space is also just like things floating on me, like how things are floating in Ganga Mata. Nothing touches Ganga, so nothing touches me. I can say this is the process I had with Ganga. It became realization. Just like how when things float on Ganga, you don't worry. See, like this rainy season, so many things will be floating in the Ganga, including human bodies. If you sit in Calcutta on the banks of Ganges, you will see animals, human bodies, plants, trees, huge trees, which are sometimes like a 50, 60 feet length. Huge trees with a whole root, they will be brought by Ganges and it will be floating. So many things will be floating. You just sit and watch. In few days I realized just like how things are flowing in Ganges and never Ganges is affected. Same way I saw that sleeping, waking, dream state, seeing, visualizing, all the Tripudi Beta, all the different distractions, different changes in my inner space are just flowing and nothing is touching me. Nothing is touching me, untouched. So understand, being passive, even the river, hill, simple plants, trees can initiate you. I have seen hundreds of people initiated by our Kalpataru, banyan tree. Our Kalpataru is a living tree. All you need is just being passive. Simply, he can initiate you. I can't even say he. I can't say he or she because there are two enlightened masters' body below, buried. This tree has grown out of two enlightened masters' body. One is a male body, another is female body. So, Kalpataru can just straight away initiate you. And I have seen Zen master, one Zen master who was initiated by a bamboo. He was sitting under a bamboo grove and he was so passive, the bamboo initiated him and he became enlightened. So, transmission of enlightenment without anything, just by the transmission of biomemory is initiation. The person who is initiated the initiated person, for him, whole world is heaven. Amritasya, immortal heaven. The person is uninitiated. See, understand the word initiation. It means not that doing some ceremony or ritual. Initiation means the click happening in you. When a master expresses the truth, the realization, if the click happens in you, if suddenly you feel, oh God, right, what he says is right. I was always thinking this. He put it in the right way. If you feel whatever I am speaking, always you thought about it, but I am verbalizing it. I am properly putting it in word. Initiation is happening. That is the scale, whether initiation has happened or not. If the initiation happens, the whole world is heaven. If the initiation is not happening, then the whole world is hell. This psychological revolution, actually, the moment initiation happens in you, every word which comes out of the master rings bell in your heart, and that becomes a strong, clear programming in you.
Minute for peace. Increase peace. Meditate a minute. See the results. minuteforpeace.org.
First statement. Your mind is responsible for all the happenings and experiences of your life. Second, your mind is nothing but too many thoughts put together. Third, if you can know the science of killing one thought at a time, you won the game. One thought at a time. You won the game with mind. Fourth statement. Whenever a thought rises in you, just tell yourself, let me unclutch from it. Not suppress, no. Just let me unclutch from it. How? In the car, when you change the gear, unclutching happens, then the next gear, it falls. Unclutch from it. Next statement. When you say you are unclutching, for milliseconds, you will have kind of a silence. Then again next thought will come. Again, let me unclutch from it. Then, after a few minutes, this thought, let me unclutch itself will become one more thought. Unclutch from that also. Then you may feeling bored, feeling like sleeping. Unclutch from that also. Sit with full of life. Don't allow even one thought pass over your space unattended. Please understand. These are the instructions now. Do not allow single thought pass your inner space without your notice. The moment you note it, the moment you catch it, unclutch. In the beginning, use the word unclutching in your inner space. Later on, you will learn the science of using the mood of unclutching. You don't even need to use the word unclutching. Now, use the word unclutching. Clear? Any doubt? Unclutch from it. Any questions? Unclutch from it. That's all is initiation. That's all, understand. I think this is the most shortest initiation I have given. But I know this is going to be the most powerful initiation. Kundalini is an extraordinary inner potential energy which is in every human being. Once awakened, not only can bring tremendous physical health and mental health and emotional fulfillment can bring extraordinary powers, can manifest extraordinary experiences and powers in your personality, extraordinary joy in your personality. Please understand, when systematically awakened, it can add to extraordinary power, strength, energy. It is time-tested, foolproof, side-effect-free, science evolved, experimented, experienced, expressed by the great Vedic inner scientists, rishis. Here, offered to you from the unbroken lineage, we call it Karana Parampara, means only heard from guru to disciple, guru to disciple. Karana Parampara means never written. Guru teaches to disciple, disciple teaches to his disciple. Succession of unbroken lineage of enlightened beings. It is transmitted and now it is here available to all of you as one of the great signs. One unique thing we did as our contribution, doing modern day scientific study on this Kundalini awakening. As you are all maybe aware, the last inner awakening we did a research, scientific study on group of people. Whoever had initiation, actually whoever accepted to participate in the program, all the people who participated, of course all of them had initiation every day. Within 18 days of Kundalini awakening initiation, all of them had 1300% of increase in mitochondria cell energy level, which is groundbreaking, earth-shattering, because maximum the mitochondria cell energy level can be increased by any available drug, therapy, yoga, exercise, only 30 to 40%. But this process has increased the mitochondria energy level to 1300%. I think this doing scientific study, validating it and presenting it to the world. All the participants who participated had this experience. This is what is our contribution. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nityananda.
Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Nityananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bangalore, 562109. Contact 097422033311. www.nityananda.org. www.youtube.com/lifeblissfoundation.
Welcome to Inner Awakening, the most powerful personal transformation retreat you could ever experience. In just 21 days, thousands are already experiencing the shortest route to constantly high energy levels, visible anti-aging, healing of chronic diseases, fulfilling relationships, and higher states of consciousness. What is the secret behind this transformation?
Kundalini means the inner potential energy. Once it is awakened, opens the different doors for the conscious experience in you. I can say, which is a master key for all extraordinary spiritual experiences.
This extraordinary program is conducted personally by Paramahamsa Nityananda in the vibrant atmosphere of Nityananda Dhyanapitham Ashram. Open yourself to the benefits of Nitya Yoga and practical meditation. Experience physical and mental healing. Discover simple ways to handle life with success. Above all, enjoy individual darshan and blessings from Paramahamsa Nityananda every day. Take 21 days for yourself and carry home the transformation of a lifetime.